And so he did a lot of work this offseason to get in better shape, get a little faster, a little quicker, a little stronger. And, just he's a really smart kid. So when you can learn stuff as quickly as he can, you have the opportunity to, make some stuff happen and get on the field a little quicker just because you know exactly what you're doing. And he just does a good job at spending extra time studying film and learn the playbook to where, I know if I throw him in there, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. He's going to be a heck of a special teams player, and he's going to be a good, solid person to add depth to our room. We have a lot of seniors, and they're very good football players. And so, but Jackson is also very good, and he'll help us out.
Coach Levi Draper had spent a little bit of time with the tight ends last couple of days. I didn't see him over there today, but is that just something that's experimenting with different people, or what's the plan there?
Levi is an awesome kid, and I loved having him in my room. I hate that, he got moved over, but and being such a good person as he is, he just wanted to help the team in any way possible. And we floated the possible idea of him trying out tight end for a few days and seeing how it works out. And he was all about it just because he wants to do whatever he can to help our team out. And so I was sad to lose him because we love him in our room, but happy that, he really wanted to just contribute to the team in any way possible.
So he's a tight end now.
We'll see.
Grant Morgan, he's kind of a different guy in terms of, we've seen some leaders come through here before, but he just seems like he's got the whole package, even the background coming from a walk-on, just like, just got a great story and everything. Is he unique in terms of, what you see in terms of a guy that's, a leader for a team?
Yeah, but Grant makes my job very easy. Especially, like this summer, I know if I say, hey, Grant, get the guys together, do this, and this, it's going to get done. It's going to get done right. And that's the same for all the seniors I have in my room. They're just great kids and really good leaders. And everyone in the room looks up to them, and they do the right thing and they play well. So, Grant is not only the leader of our room, he's the leader of our team. And that's just who he is. It's what you see is what you get with him. So, he just, I can't say enough good things about him, to be honest with you. He makes my life very easy.
Michael, I'm sure you guys did a study on the optimal reps for Grant Morgan and Bumper. What's the conclusion of that? How much do they need to play to be for you guys to be successful, and how much do the backups need to play?
Well, we play in a very physical, tough league. And the greatest thing that I think I walked into with this room is I have a bunch of kids who have the ability to play at a really high level. You can go down the list. You got Grant, you got Bumper, you got Hayden Henry, who's playing really good. All three of those guys are playing extremely well right now. And then throw in Dede Edwards in there and Andrew Parker. That's five really solid guys who can go in the game at any time. So that'll help provide depth. And also as we go throughout the season, it's going to help everyone in our room out to be able to rotate those guys in the game. Just because, we have guys that are fresher and I thought as I looked at last season through the games, as you get to the fourth quarter, when the guys we have are playing every single rep, you notice that they start to get tired in the fourth quarter. Well, now we have plenty of guys that we have that can come contribute to where I know if a guy gets tired, I'll just take him out, put another one in, and I won't bat an eye at it.
Which I think Sam last year described Hayden Henry as a kind of a throwback, old school kind of player. What do you like about him, and what jumps out to you about his playing style?
Exactly what you said. He's really smart. He's an old school throwback kid. He's tough. He loves to hit people. If you watch him out at practice, he's not far off of Bobby Boucher. He's just a little smarter. But he's just a really hardworking kid. He's a good kid, and I love having him in our room. He's going to be a really good player for us this year.
I guess Hayden was limited last spring with the shoulder. Just how durable has he been this preseason? And
him, everybody in the room, but him, Grant, Bumper, they all, Dede, Andrew Parker, they all did a lot of work this offseason with Jamil and the strength staff, and they got him in really good shape. And especially, I know a lot of attention was put towards getting Hayden healthy, and that's a lot of the reason why his spring reps were limited. And I haven't heard a word since.
I guess Dede at that one point kind of dabbled in the transfer portal. Just what's it mean to have him back?
It means everything. I love Dede. Our room loves Dede. Our team loves Dede. He adds a special dynamic to our linebacker room, and he really brings the room a lot closer. So, as soon as I kind of had an idea of I might be here, I made sure that, we called Dede and talked to him and made sure that he didn't want to go anywhere because we need him.
Coach, you mentioned Bumper, Grant, Hayden, Dede as four of the maybe top 5 guys in your room. Those are all seniors. How important is it to get maybe some of the younger guys some reps this year to kind of prepare your room for next year as well?
It's very important. And we have guys like Andrew Parker, Jackson Word, as you mentioned, Chris Paul. They have all been doing a really good job. And they've been coming along. And like I said, even though I have, the future is, I don't want to say scary, but you lose 5 seniors. That's a lot of guys. But the good thing is the seniors I have shown those guys the way. Like they're all good players, and the young guys know if I look at them and do what they do, I'm gonna have a chance to do exactly what they've done. And like I said, they've made my life easier, and it's easy to push those kids because the young guys know I push the old guys. So if I'm pushing the old guys, what happens is the old guys push the young guys, and they've made a lot of progress.
Can you go in a little bit more into Chris Paul, Coach? I mean, he came in last at midterm, helped you. And then also, what about D.D. Jones? He's been one of your recruiting hosts just about every weekend.
Yeah.
What makes him really good in that situation?
Okay, so Chris Paul, it's hard, especially at the linebacker position. It's tough to come in as a high schooler like he did and kind of pick everything up. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more moving parts, and life's just different. But Chris did a really good job of growing throughout the spring and changing his body up. I know he came here at like 250. Now he's down to 230, much better shape, moving around a whole lot better. And the more he can learn and the more reps he gets this year, the better he's going to be. And, I have a lot of faith and confidence that down the road, he's going to be a really good football player. And then with Dede, I mean, he's just a great person. He's just a great person. He loves his teammates love him, and he has fun with them, and he works hard. He does everything right. He does everything the right way, and his teammates respect it. And if you have the respect from your teammates, that's all you need. That's all you need in this. And we love Dede, and we're happier than heck that he's here.
Coach, you touched a little bit on some of the younger guys, but I was wondering if you could maybe specifically talk about Keelan Burrell and JT Towers. They're listed a little bit light on the depth chart. What do they need to do to, over the course of the year to, I guess, get into a position where maybe in the future, because you do have so many seniors that they're helping?
I think the main thing with Keelan is just continue to work on his body. Like you said, he's a little light right now. He's got to continue to grow, continue to work on gaining some weight, and just continue to learn. He's done a really good job this fall camp actually in learning more than he ever has before. So he's starting to grasp some of those things that we're doing and starting to get a good idea of the playbook. And once he does that, then you can once you understand the plays, you can transfer over and now study an offense. If you don't know what you're supposed to do, then it's hard to look at the offense and say, okay, they're lined up like that, they're going to run this play, I got to do this, right? Because you're sitting there thinking about what you got to do, right? You can't look across the ball and say, oh, he looks like he's going to go this way. You just don't have enough time, right? So the more he learns and the more he progresses and learn the playbook, that's going to help him out a lot. But a lot of it has to do with gaining a whole lot of weight for Keelan. And same goes with JT. It's a lot about progressing their bodies and just progressing their skills and talents on the field. And, eventually they'll be able to step in and help us.
Michael, Bumper was in here the other day and said, he broke some ribs that second game, I guess was against Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Then he played, all year. He had over 100 tackles.
Yep.
What do you think that says about him?
I mean, he's a really tough kid. There were times last year where I had to kind of pull him back a little bit because it felt like, like you say, he had busted ribs. He missed the game. He missed the game because we had to hold him back because he was banged up so much, and, he's just a kid that's willing to do anything he possibly can for this team. And so, the last thing he's ever going to do is take himself out of something. And it's like, he's one of those kids, as long as he can walk, he's going to go out there and play. So it's just, he's tough. He loves to play. He loves his teammates. It's just, a great kid, great player. He's going to be really good this year.
And then, wasn't so long ago, Arkansas, they'd always have, one or two pretty good linebackers, guys that are in the NFL now, but they never really had much depth. It sounds like you feel good about what you're building. How do you feel about the depth and kind of what's the key to building that up?
I feel really good about the depth. Heck, part of me is trying to figure out how to get all of them on the field, how to figure out how they can all help us out, because we have a lot of good players. You can go ones, twos, threes. I mean, all those guys can play on Saturday, all of them. And they've gotten so much better from last year to the spring to now, even in fall camp, they're still continue to get better. And it just, it eliminates some of the scary situations. You think, well, what if this guy goes down, or what are we going to do? Well, it's easy. I got another guy, so, what's helped a lot with not only the guys who aren't the starters, but is everyone that can see how well everyone's doing right now. And so, like, even Andrew Parker, Grant Morgan, watch Andrew Parker practice, and Andrew Parker's pushing Grant Morgan every day. So that is making Grant Morgan a better football player. Hayden Henry and Bumper Pool are trading back and forth right now. That's making them both a lot better football players because they're competing with each other every single day. You can throw Dede in that equation. You can throw Jackson Wood in that equation. And then once the young guys like Chris Paul and Keelan Burrow see that, then it just pushes them even harder. So really, the competition in our room kind of works for itself. It makes my job easier, and it just the fact that they know what the guy behind them is doing is pushing them to be even better football players and study more and do everything more. It's awesome.
Coach Bumper with his broken ribs, how much does that affect a linebacker? I mean, does it make tackling more difficult? I mean, how does that, and then how much is it going to help that he seems to be fully healthy this year?
Yeah, it's difficult. Imagine every time you cough, you feel like somebody's stabbing you in the back. Yeah, pretty rough, So then imagine, heck, you hit somebody and you get that same feeling like somebody's stabbing you and your body just about goes numb. And you can look, there's a few times, if you watch the Auburn game, there was a few times he met the running back in the hole, a play he makes 100 out of 100, and he's got him wrapped up and just his body just went numb. It happens. And so him being healthy is going to help him out a whole lot. And it's just that mixed with the competition we got going on right now. I mean, those guys are going to have a really good year. Good. Go ahead. I got you. Come on.
Well, it's a recruiting question.
Okay.
You're a younger guy from St. Louis originally. Can you just talk about what you bring to the table as a recruiter, what you look for in linebackers, and just from personality standpoint, evaluation, all that stuff?
I think I like guys that are smart, tough, and fast. It's pretty easy. But as I'm starting to learn this recruiting deal, it's trying to find not only good football players but good people. Those are the people that last. Those are the kids who seem to have success. Even when I was playing, you look at the guys who I played with who had success, they're all smart, good, genuine people. And so, that's what I'm looking for. And then just in terms of how I've taken it, it's just trying to build relationships with these kids. I feel like, been able to form some good relationships. And when you can do that, it just becomes a genuine friendship, whatever you want to call it. It just, once you form this relationship with a high school kid and you guys talk all the time, it just becomes genuine. I don't know anything else. And so they become part of my life. I become part of theirs. And, it's just kind of, I think hopefully they feel comfortable around me and just know that I'm going to do whatever I can for them. And I think, not only that, but getting them around our players. And I think our players know that all of our staff has proved that we'll do anything for them. And so when they relay that message to a high school kid, it's not coming from me, it's easy to believe because it's just the truth, so that's kind of how recruiting is going.